Now, see how to deliver this product backlog, right? Now, should we deliver it in a single shot or multiple releases? It depends on the nature of the product. But even before that, see, any project development or a product development is a significant expense, right? And whatever we have, whatever assumptions we have made regarding the expected outcome of the project, they may happen or not, right? It depends because there are always expectations, right? Now, even before you go through first release, right? Should you first assess the viability of the product or a project or not?
Yes.
Now, viability is assessed through a minimum viable product, right? So instead of releasing the product in the market, right, what you do is you build minimum set of features, that you can touch and feel, right? And you give the demonstration of these features to the relevant stakeholders, which may be business people, sponsors, or focus groups, right? You build a minimum feature, right? A product with minimum feature that at least people can make out, right? People can understand, right? They can touch or feel, right? So you build a minimum functionality, right, and give a demonstration of that functionality to relevant stakeholders, which may include business people, sponsors, focus groups, right? Now, these people, after reviewing the minimum viable product or minimum functionality, will give you a feedback, right? That feedback can be, right, you can go ahead with the product, right? Or the feedback can be to stop the product, right? Or they might give you a feedback to change your direction a little bit, right? This is the feedback these people can give you. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? Now, this is a minimum viable product, right? So, did you get the concept of minimum viable product, guys?
Yes.
A minimum functionality that you develop, right, to get an understanding whether the business case corresponding to the product development or project development will be viable, desirable, achievable, and sustainable, right? Yes or no?
So, Pankaj, are we saying that MVP is something like a POC kind of activity?
Now, see, MVP is not exactly a POC, right? POC can be done for anything, right? If, for example, if I'm using a new technology to validate it, do I do a POC? I can do proof of concept for anything, right? I can do it for a new technology. I can do it for for integrating your product with some new product also, right? But why I am doing minimum viable product? To assess, should I go forward with this project or a product or not, or should we stop? Can you see that the perspective of minimum viable product is broader than a POC?
Yeah, Pankaj, if I will say, like for the MVP, what I have experienced, like in sometimes, customers says, okay, give us or deliver the MVP, as soon as possible. Then the other additional features, I'm giving example of the wallet. Suppose customer says, okay, give us a wallet with minimum features, like I can give the, transfer the money from one person to another person. Rest, the features like, we have to pay electricity bill, water bill, everything. So that we will add later, but we need MVP as a person to person transaction.
Mhm.
So,
Is
I
it
believe
for a
that is
market?
also.
No. I'll tell you what. See, now I'll come across, now I'll take you through another term called as minimum. See, we discussed about minimum viable product, right? Because
Okay.
whatever you are developing here, right? Whatever you are developing here as per the customer's request, will you be releasing it or not to the market?
Yeah.
Right? It's an
Yes.
increment to whatever product you have made, right? Now,
Yeah.
there is something called as minimum viable product, and there is something called as minimum marketable product or minimal business increment, right? Minimal marketable product or minimal business increment, right? Right. Now see, what is the difference between a minimal marketable product and a minimum viable product? Now, see, remember about just recall about the products such as Uber, Uber app, or a fintech app such as Paytm or Google Pay. Now, when the initial version of the products were launched in the market, right? Was it same as today?
No.
Right? Paytm was launched with bare minimum features.
Yeah.
Right? So, the minimum product that you launch in the market, right? The earliest version that is released to the market, that is minimal marketable product. Are you getting my point?
Can you repeat again, please?
The lowest version, the earliest version, right? With highest priority or highest priority minimal features, which is launched of a product which is launched to the market, which is released in the market, right, is a minimal marketable product, right?
So it will be same for MVP as well, na? Minimum viable product.
Now, see, do you earn money through minimum viable product or do you do a viability check?
No, if we are saying, suppose
No.
product guy has discussed with the client that these are the features coming with MVP one. Okay, so if obviously when we are releasing or giving it to the client, there will be a set of you can say UAT that we discussed yesterday. So after that, it's a client choice whether he is going with the MVP with market or not. So
So
is
listen,
it?
listen carefully. When you use the word minimum viable product, right? MVP, right? The concept of MVP is that you assess the viability. The purpose is not to earn money here. You don't go to market with a minimum viable product, but many times these two terms, minimum viable product and minimal marketable product, right, are used interchangeably but in incorrect manner.
Okay, that's the
Right?
confusion.
Okay.
Right? So minimum viable product is a very, very base product to check whether you should go ahead with the product or project further or not. Right? Whereas minimal marketable product is something that you have officially launched to the market. You have done a release through it. And you make money, you earn money through it also, right? The first version of the products like Paytm, right? Google Pay, right? Or Uber, right? iPhone, you can call them as a minimum marketable product. Afterwards, the new versions came out with better features, right? So, this is whatever you are saying that, your customer has asked to build an increment on top of whatever is there to release to the market. That is a minimum. You can call it as a minimal business increment, right? And it is related to minimal marketable product, not a viable product.
I mean, if I understood this correctly, sir, on the minimum viable product, so the internal usage that the organization would be doing for that product and the outcomes that they would be taking out from that product, so that they can do the alterations and the changes, and then subsequently they can introduce the same if everything is fine, then they can use that product in the market.
Okay. So
So
Arush, yeah, in order to understand, I understand what you're trying to say. So, I'll ask you a question just to validate your understanding, right? Ayush, should I do this product or project? Should I move forward with this product or project? Who would answer it? What would answer it? A minimum viable product or minimal marketable product?
minimum viable product,
Right. Yes. Yeah. Right. And what should be my first release to the market? What should
that
answer
would
it?
be minimal marketable product.
Right. So does it help you to understand the difference between the two?
Yes, I mean, but it all depends upon the feedbacks as well, na? So the feedback that I would be getting to launch that product in the market, so that would come through the minimum viable product, feasibility. And then once I have the tick into that, then I would be able to release
Obviously,
that.
obviously. See, minimum viable product is to collect the feedback, right? And the feedback can be to persevere, right? To move ahead. The feedback can be Arush, you are right, and just go ahead with the extra features. A feedback can be to modify a bit, change the direction. A feedback can be to stop, right? So anyway, if there's a feedback to modify or change or any feedback about your minimum version, how should it look like? Yes, you should incorporate, right?
Correct. So the
But the
minimum
purpose, but
viable
the purpose of minimum viable product is to collect feedback, right? From the
Yeah,
relevant stakeholders, right?
correct, correct.
Whereas minimum marketable product is the official first version launched in the market, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
So,
if you do
Pankaj,
small increment on top of it, they're minimal business increment, right?
Got it, got it.
Yeah,
one question, Pankaj.
yeah, sure.
So when we set up this product backlog and further ahead, we will do the sprint planning. So will this name will come like meaning this is your minimum viable product and this will be your minimum marketable product by this
See,
sprint.
in fact, it should come before also. See, there will be
So with
certain things which you'll do before product backlog, like you should create a lean business case, right? Now, the only in the agile context, when you create the business case, right, minimum viable product should be taken, or minimum marketable product, both should be taken into account principally.
So, like, suppose if I am a PLM, a product owner, so this I will be doing at the first phase, like after this sprint or this requirement is done, my this product will be MVP, and after this stage, my this product will be a marketable product. Is my understanding correct?
See, when the product backlog is built, let's say, right?
Yeah.
So, first thing will be MVP, right?
Okay.
Right? So MVP can be first two sprints or the first can be, see, MVP can be developed in one sprint or two sprint, right? Or three sprints, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Once the MVP is approved, you go ahead with launching the product in the subsequent sprints, right?
So
In
go
subsequent
ahead.
sprints, in the subsequent sprint, you will have a minimal marketable product, right? And then subsequently you can have minimal business increments. As you said, your client said that you have to deliver this increment.
So, but when I am releasing this product to market, it is an a minimum marketable product, no?
Yes, it will be minimum
This
market.
minimum viable product is internal to our team only. Okay, now we have achieved this sprint, and this sprint was the goal of minimum viable product. Now
No,
anything,
no,
uh,
listen carefully. See, as a customer, if I start developing a product, right?
uh,
Right? Suppose I am a customer, right? Think from the customer's perspective. See, tell me, why would I hire a team and why would I build a product if I don't fetch value from it? If I am not if it is not proven that I won't earn money from it, why would I pay you and all that? Why would I take it forward?
yeah, correct.
So first, should I assess the viability or not?
So the requirement
Yes.
will come. No, first your requirement, your for minimum viable product viability, you will give the requirement, boss. This is my requirement.
Yes.
And then
Customer.
I can develop a product for that viability, right?
Yes. Obviously, yes. Yes. Obviously, yes. You should know. You see, if it's a customer supplier relationship, right? Customer should tell supplier what is needed in terms of minimum viable product, right? Yes.
No.
But Pankaj, suppose if we will get that this is the basic requirement for the minimal viable product, so
Mhm.
that will only convert into the minimal marketable product.
Why?
Almost that would be almost equal, is it?
No. See, for
So Pankaj,
minimum. Uh,
let's take example like I am a product owner and Sujit is a client for me. Okay, so to making a point or finalizing for minimum viable product. Obviously, I will check with Sujit that these are the things that we can provide you in minimal viable product,
No, can you
right?
redefine the roles? You are a product owner, right?
Yeah, I am a product owner.
Right? You're from customer side or you're from delivery team?
I am from delivery side.
Yeah, okay.
So, and from customer side, I am in touch with the customer
Mhm.
and finalizing the things or the items that this we can give you in this let's say release one, and it will consisting of your you can say prioritize item because you if client is saying that this product is very big but and your timeline is not matching with our uh, request, so divide this into a multiple backlog and give it to me as MVP1, MVP2 and MVP3. But for MVP1 we can go live with the users like this one. Okay, so if I have the
This is
complete list of
Lavi. See, this is what I'm saying. MVPs are not launched to the market.
no
See,
MVP is not
MVP,
oh,
you're talking about MVP or MMP.
So Pankaj, what you are saying is, as per PMI, it should
No, as per
not be, but
everyone, as per general
yeah,
concept. See,
okay.
because
But
PMP,
it is being done. It is being done in the market, but it should not be done. I think that's the wrong practice. That's what you
see,
are saying, right?
yeah,
The
see,
right practice is
if
that minimum viable product cannot be released or marketable. It
minimum
is only
viable
for the
product is
viability.
something that may not be fully functional even.
Okay, yeah.
See, minimum viable product is just to check before you launch to the market that your idea would work or not, right? Now, see, Lavi, based on whatever you are saying and Sujit are saying, I can understand the environment. See, in your case, what is happening is, customer has already done MVP assessment at their end, and they are going ahead with the product, right? Now, what they are
right,
doing is, now they are launching the product in market in multiple releases or multiple increments, right?
correct,
So this is not minimum viable product. This is minimal business increment. In every release, they have minimum additional requirements which are released to the market,
correct,
right? So this context is different. See, because when you talk about holistic concept, you have to think from the customer's perspective. Now, what will customer do as a, in terms of product management or project management? They will first check whether, I'm spending so much money, right? Whether this will work or not. So I have to do some viability assessment. That is minimum viable product. And they have
So
done
if
it.
they
Can MVP and a prototype can be same thing, right?
See, not always. Because prototype can be as small as a paper prototype also.
Oh.
Whereas MVP is something you see, minimum functionality that you have to develop to assess whether project will be a worthwhile investment proposition or not. That is MVP, minimum viable product, guys.
So, Pankaj, in other terms, can we say like the product demo with the minimal features that if the customer will see, okay, this is the minimum features, and you can give us demo how it works, how it looks like. So, is it?
No,
I
no,
would say
that,
the
no. That demo can happen in any context, Sushant.
okay,
Right? See, at the end of every sprint, such demo happen.
okay,
See, minimum viable product is a minimum feature that you have to develop to check the validity of a concept,
and
right?
that check will be internal within, or we will showcase it to the customer also.
We'll showcase it to, see, don't think about, again, who is spending money on the project or product, customer.
Yes, yeah.
Customer will do it. He will decide whether his internal team will do or external team will.
Okay.
Are you getting the
Pankaj,
point? See, think from the holistic perspective. It is not you as a supplier who is doing the project or a product. Actually, the bigger picture is there's a customer-supplier relationship. Customer has a bigger role to play because they are spending money.
Okay. So, Pankaj, let me tell you, so a lot of questions are coming just because, as you correctly said, that, we are incorrectly using the MVP as a minimal market product.
Yeah,
Like in our daily also like Sujit, Lavi and other members are also, we are discussing because we are using MVP word for the customer delivery point of view rather than using minimal marketable product.
I think yes, right? Now, can we take one example?
Yeah.
Suppose I am the customer, right? Now, I decided to build a travel portal, right? See, I am I'm a travel company like Cox and King or Thomas Cooks, right? Now, assume that, I'm one of the company ABC INC, just like them, right?
Mm.
And I have a lot of physical outlets to sell the tickets. Now, I want to have a e-commerce site, a travel portal through which I can sell the ticket,
Mhm.
right? Now, tell me, you know, thinking about travel portal online selling looks very good, right? And initially, after you talk to people, after you do some analysis on papers, right? It will you have an assumption that you will make some additional money out of it or a good amount of money out of it. It looks good, right? But tell me, on papers, on analysis, it might look good. But in reality, whatever I am expected out of it may not work.
Mhm.
Does it happen or not?
Yeah.
So should I first do some level of minimum viable product to assess whether it will work or not? For example, instead of building the complete e-travel portal, right? I'll simply uh, I'll simply build a web page that has an information about various flights, right?
Mm.
And on top of that web page, I can give my phone number or the company's phone number and email, right? And give some Google ads,
Mhm.
right? And people people can access that web page, right? Right? And come to me, right? People can access the web page and come and call me through phone or email, right? Now, if I analyze the data of this minimum viable product, right? For example, how many people, how many hits the website have, and how many people actually come to me through website. If I capture this data, right,
Mhm.
will it help me to assess the viability of the product or not?
Mm.
Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Right? Now, suppose significant number of people came to me through the web page that I have created. It is an indication that I can go ahead with the first version of the product, right? Now, the first version of the product that I am going to launch, right? What will be that called as?
Minimum marketable.
Minimum marketable product, right? And some, and moving forward, if I do some increment on top of it, like Uber does it, right? Paytm does it. Those increment will be called as what? Minimum
Business
business
Minimum
increment.
increment,
business increment. Yeah.
right? So is the difference clear between minimum viable product, minimum marketable product, and minimum business increment?
One
Yeah,
question that I have, Pankaj.
yeah.
So you said that whatever minimum featured website we made, and then we analyzed that data. For
Yeah.
data ke liye, who did we send it to, or where was it tested? Who tested it, or how was that data
So
collected?
now the data has to be validated properly, right? The data has to be validated properly. For example, how many hits the website has, how, for example, when
Before validating, who will give that hits? I have not launched it in the market. Will I be
no, no,
doing it
no, no, no. So,
internally?
so no. So I have done a minimum. See, I'm not earning through it. I'm not selling. I'm not doing anything through, right? Because see,
So we
my
launched it as a testing version sort of
yeah.
thing,
So
not
see,
earning
yeah,
anything out of it.
yes, yes. So see again, who validates the minimum viable product? Relevant, right? Relevant stakeholders, right? I use the word relevant stakeholders. Now, in the case of e-commerce portal or travel portal, people who are online buyer are the relevant stakeholders,
Right.
right? So I have simply launched a page with the information of the flights, right? And I gave some Google ads also, so that people, when I give Google ads, people can access that website.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mhm.
Now, you know, I can capture this data in multiple ways. For example, when people come to me to book a ticket, I can ask them to fill a form, right? And that form will have a field that says that, uh, what is the reference, through what reference you came to us, right? Yes or no? And plus, obviously at any point of time, I can capture the hits on my website also.
Is it okay to say that this would be an investment done by the customer?
No, this is a minimum, and see again, the best thing to say, Vikas, is minimal investment to validate your understanding of the product, to minimum investment to check or assess whether your idea will be successful or not.
Right. So until I do this testing and a minimum marketable product is launched, it would be an investment on my part as
Yes.
a customer.
Yeah, because tell me, what if, let's say, the outcome was very poor, right? For example, I have launched a web page. I have done a Google ad also. I didn't see much references from the web page.
Right.
Will I go ahead with the first release?
No.
But what is the benefit? It
I at least got an
prevented,
understanding, and I can then improve my product and retry.
or I see it prevented me from going ahead with the
Investing heavily and getting a loss.
yeah. By minimum investment, I came to know whether this idea will be successful or not. That is the benefit, right?
I think the same. Sorry, I think
Yeah.
the one example is could be of Flipkart, because when they launched, they were only on using web portals, and then later on they said we are shifting to the app only. So maybe it's because of uh, the high volume they were receiving through the portal, and then they decided to move to the app.
This is the example, Mohit, of minimal marketable product and the business
Yeah.
increments.
Yes. Yes.
Viable product. Yeah.
Pankaj, but in that case, if I would say, suppose a company is going into a kind of product which is very new to them. So in that case, MVP, minimal, marketable product, these all the, steps is being followed. But suppose if you take another scenario where a company is already, I'm taking any of the name, like example Vodafone, they have a wallet. Okay, now they want, and that wallet is on, managed by some another X company. Now they want to replace that particular vendor, and they want to, after 3 years or 5 years of a contract, they want to replace them, and they want another vendor to carry on that particular product. So
That's a
in
different
that
thing.
case,
No,
because Vodafone is already know that this product is running for them.
that is
So
that is a simple context in the whole
yeah,
bigger picture, right? That is not a
yeah,
new product. That is a
yeah,
project which is already running. They're shifting the vendors. That's it.
okay,
It's a very small context.
yeah,
That's a very small context. So we should not be talking about minimum viable product there, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right. They might be doing assessment of the vendors, which is different thing. But minimum viable product is when you are starting
yeah, yeah.
something new, a new project or a product, right?
Yes.
Right.
Now that's clear. That's clear,
Right.
because normally we gone through the projects where I would say maximum where the customer having already running through that, they want to shift your
Yeah.
situation to the to X company. So in that
Yeah.
case, MVP is something that is already they are running. They are aware about that product, their product. So they are going, okay, we want this feature. Okay, let's give demo, and they will go with the project.
So in your case, there is a product which is already there in the market, right?
Yeah.
And you build additional features on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, maybe you are further ahead of minimum marketable product. You have suppose, you are building minimal business increment on top of it, release by release, right?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right. All these things have already happened, right?
Got it. So in simple understanding is, I would say that for MVP is mainly where the company is going, a new product, our first time with that product, so they will start with that one.
Right. Obviously, any
Can it
time.
be a beta release as well? Can we say it's a beta release?
See, I will not use the word beta release. I would say it's an assessment of the viability, whether the idea would work or not. Till MVP, I am, if the MVP fails, I'll not even go ahead with any release. Right, Sudhanshu?
Okay.
Is it
And
like
about A/B testing, is A/B testing also done on the MVP or
A to B, you are saying, A to B.
yeah.
A to B's testing is, you can relate A to B testing to MVP, but in A to B testing, you do multiple versions
And
of a
we give
single.
option of 2, 3 version, and like we see
Yeah,
that
that is
this
a
one
MVP.
is most favorable and
Yeah,
most
you
liked
go
by
ahead
the
with. Yes, 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 yes. A
so
to
So,
that
B
can be
test.
done on MVP.
Yeah, they can be done.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
so,
Right.
so,
In fact,
Pankaj,
in
MVP?
fact, let's
Yeah.
talk. I'll give you one more example. Complex product development. Tell me, in case of a complex scenario, will you have one MVP or multiple MVPs before you reach at MMP? In some scenarios, this equation can also be like this, right? I'm just showing you.
Yeah.
In some
Yeah,
scenarios,
multiple MVP could be there, as Lavi mentioned earlier.
in some situations, MVP 1
Yeah.
plus MVP 2 plus MVP 3 is equal to MMP, right?
Yes.
See, you should demonstrate multiple MVPs in increment. You go through first viability assessment, right? Then second, then three, then you launch MMP. Sometimes there can be multiple MVPs before you launch a minimum marketable product, right?
So can we take this MMP2 as an increment, Pankaj?
No, this is
No, no,
MMP1. This is MMP. Why you are taking? See, again, we are losing the context, guys. In your case, there is no MVP. You are working on minimum business increments. See, tell me, if I am doing a complex product with a huge investment, should I assess the viability once only, or should I
So
assess
Pankaj,
multiple times?
Pankaj, let me make it simple. I am working in one project, okay, which is big one. So
No, no,
what
but
client,
did you invest or your customer invest? Who is the
in,
initiator? You or your customer?
customer is the initiator.
How you are built?
So we are building like MVP1, MVP2, and MVP3.
No,
It's
no.
a big
See,
project.
so
Yeah,
you release MVP 1 in the market, then you release MVP 2 in the market, then you are releasing MVP 3 in the market, right?
right. Like
This is not
this way,
MVP, boss. This is not MVP. I'm saying it again and again. This is minimal business increment.
okay. So terminology we are using incorrectly, we can
Yes.
say, right?
Are you doing viability check, or you are rolling out small increment in the market?
So my question is, who will check the viability? Is it
Why?
me
Why?
who is
Tell me,
develop?
who is paying for the product? You or customer?
Customer is obviously paying for the product,
So
no?
tell me, before reaching you to develop the product as a supplier, don't you think customer would have gone through multiple viability assessment?
Exactly. Now, when the customer is assessing this viability product, at that time, product owner is in touch with the customer to check what all features he required in MVP one. Okay. So that was my initial question. If those things already been assessed by the customer and the product owner that this is the minimum requirement, with that I can go live with to the market. So can we say it like that now?
No, see, listen, see,
In that
market,
case, what will happen?
forget about market.
Hmm.
Forget about market. First thing is from the customer's perspective, right? From the customer's perspective, see, why should he pay money for the product unless and until he gets some return out of it? Will he be investing in a product without a return if he's a
No.
serious customer, right? So he will do a minimum viable product to check internally whether if he goes ahead with this idea, will it work in the market or not?
And if he say it will work, then
Now, who will say it will work? Tell me. People who are
customer.
expert. No, no, no. Customer will be. How can customer know? Don't you need you? See, listen carefully. If I'm spending, if I'm spending money, right? to validate an idea, right? See, if I'm spending money to build a product, first I'll get the idea validated. Yes or no? Now, can I validate that idea myself, or I need experts to validate those ideas? See,
Expert.
there are subject matter experts. There's a market research being carried out. There are focus groups, right, who specialize in a particular area. When they will review my market minimum viable product, they will tell whether it will work or not, right?
Right.
Now, sometimes, they will say, okay, so far, if it's a huge, big product, so far it looks promising, but we'll do multiple reviews, right?
Correct.
So
Multiple reviews.
you build some features, very minimal, right? And then you add the outcome is show us some more, right? Then you build some other features. Right? At any stage, there is a chances of rejecting your product, right? Now,
Right.
once you see, MVP is more like a test that you need to pass through. Once you have gone through these MVPs, minimum viability product assessment, right? And the stakeholders and the experts and focus groups, they say that, okay, it seems promising, go ahead with the idea. After this, you will launch the first version of the product in the market. Are you getting my point?
So,
Then
Yes.
customer will customer
pro-
will start thinking about releasing the product in the market, and then he may involve multiple people. What should be my features in the minimum marketable product that I'm going to launch in the market, right?
So, Pankaj, my understanding is at the MVP stage, the product is not actually has built. It is just to get the idea if it will work or not.
It's built, but with minimum features that you can touch and feel.
Okay.
The purpose is not to earn from the product. The purpose is to learn and get the feedback whether it will work or not. Is it clear, Mohit?
Yeah, it is okay.
Lavi, are you getting my point or not?